Sometimes we feel kind of isolated and misunderstood since we don't always bear the obvious signs of illness and distress and need that some people with other types of illnesses have. Um, with my SLE, for example, I get a lot of internal organs and inflammation, things people can't see, and people sometimes might mistake our fatigue and things of just being lazy. It's really not what's going on here. You know, there have been days where I wish I could get out and go help somebody do something, you know, and just can't do it. And
when people find out that I have lupus, the first thing that they always say is, well, you don't look sick, or wow, I never would have known. And I think that's very common for lupus patients. One day we're up, running around, getting things done, working, and it can be as quick as overnight that we're down and we can't get out of bed, and all kinds of things can happen. One day I woke up and I was numb from my knees down and found out that I had peripheral neuropathy, and that took me out of commission for quite a while.
well, my beginnings of lupus, as far as showing symptoms, they started when I was in high school. And I guess I was about 15 or 16 years old, and I started having joint problems. That's really about all I can remember. But my mom had lupus, so that was one of the things that they started looking for almost right away. So my diagnosis didn't really take as long as a lot of other people's.
I was diagnosed with lupus when I was 16 years old. So I've had it for 31 years, and when I first was sick, I wasn't diagnosed for about a year, and when I was first sick, I had a lot of arthritis, and I had a lot of what I now is called pleurisy, and I went to a high school that had 2 stories, and I couldn't get up to the second floor because it hurt my chest, so I moved my classes and my locker and everything down on the first floor. It took about a year after that we finally, after a severe sunburn, that they finally diagnosed me. I ended up in the coronary care unit after the sunburn with my heart beating twice as fast as it should have. And so they diagnosed me at that point.
Back in early 1990s, my sister passed away from illness, non-lupus related, and that's when I really got depressed, and I don't know how much of it was stress induced, but I really had my first major flare-up around then. I was working full-time in San Francisco at the Pacific Stock Exchange, and the symptoms were, you know, coming up on me slowly. I was limping, I was getting a lot of swelling in my feet, and a lot of pains in my chest, and eventually I was hospitalized for pancreatitis. And that hospitalization lasted a long time. I was in the hospital for a couple of months.
Since then, I've had many different flare-ups of many different kinds. The thing about lupus is that it can affect any organ or any system in your body at any time.
Joint problems,
Low platelet count one day,
some swelling,
pleurisy,
rashes and fevers,
and inflammation in my ribs,
lung problems,
kidney infections,
pancreatitis,
numbness in my feet.
pulmonary fibrosis.
It's interesting because people see me when I'm doing okay. And the other thing is that the treatment for lupus that's most commonly used are steroids, and steroids make you look healthy, plump, vibrant. And the more steroids you're on, sometimes the better you look, and actually the sicker you are. And so I think it's hard for the general public to understand lupus, and for them to realize how much pain we live with, and how debilitating the disease is, and how many disappointments we go through, and our family members.
Know that if your loved one tells you they have lupus, it's more real than just what you see. I like people to know that they need to be patient sometimes with us. Um, Not just the illness, but sometimes the medications that we take make us a little cranky, and that it's nothing to be afraid of, that it's nothing that you can catch, that it's a lot more common than a lot of people realize, and that we need your support.
For a cure. uh, yeah, for a cure, or at the very least, in the 31 years that I've had this illness, Ben Lista, I thought it was Ben Lista, is the first drug to be approved, and I'm hoping that with this and with modern technology, that more drugs will come out.
I would like to see more information out there, kind of like you see with breast cancer. More corporate sponsors getting involved, more money and support for individuals with the disease. Rheumatologists are expensive. A lot of people don't get to see them. Um, More help for people who don't have good medical coverage to be able to get the tests they need, get the medicines they need.
I'm really hoping that with the internet and technology that we have today, that the word will get out, and that will mean more funding and more research.